Think about all the times you have felt a little bit lost when trying to understand how someone else feels. Think about those quiet moments where you could not quite tell if what you were feeling was real or if you were just dreaming it up in your mind. We have all been there, replaying a conversation over and over again, trying to figure out the secret meaning behind the words someone said to us. But there is something very important you should know. The real answer was never hidden in their words. The truth was actually right there in their body. The sad thing is that most of us were never taught how to read this silent language. Before we dive deep into understanding this invisible language that everyone speaks but few truly understand, I need to ask you for something small but incredibly meaningful to me. If you find value in what I am about to share with you today, if even one insight changes the way you see the people around you, please consider subscribing to this channel and helping me reach 10,000 subscribers. That number is not just a milestone for me. It represents 10,000 people who believe that understanding each other better can make this world a kinder, more connected place. Your subscription tells me that this message matters to you, and it gives me the strength to keep creating content that might just change someone's life. Every single subscriber represents a person who wants to communicate better, love deeper, and understand the people they care about on a level that goes beyond words. So if this resonates with you, please hit that subscribe button and join this beautiful community of people who believe in the power of truly seeing one another. Now let me take you on a journey into a world that exists right in front of your eyes, but that you might have been missing your entire life. We live in a world that spends a lot of time teaching us what attraction is supposed to feel like, the butterflies and the racing hearts, but it tells us almost nothing about what it actually looks like on the outside. Body language is like a secret conversation that happens underneath every single talk you have ever had. It is the special way that your brain and your body work together to say the things that words just cannot or will not say. A group of caring researchers at UCLA, led by a man named Albert Mehrabian, found something amazing. They discovered that when it comes to our feelings and how we act toward others, over 90% of our communication is actually nonverbal. Let that sink in for a moment. 90%. This means that if you are only listening to what people say out loud, you are missing almost the entire story of how they truly feel. Imagine going through life reading only every 10th word of a beautiful letter written just for you. That is what we do when we ignore the language of the body. We miss the poetry, the meaning, the true intention behind every interaction. Today, I want to walk you through the signs that the body sends out, the silent signals that your own body already knows how to send, and they are the same ones you might have been missing in the people around you. Even more importantly, we will talk about what to do when you see each sign. Just seeing a signal is only half the work. Knowing how to respond in a kind and warm way is what helps people truly connect instead of just walking away wondering what happened. I hope you will stay with me for this journey, because once you learn how to read this silent language, you can never really unlearn it. The way you walk into a room and the way you see the people in it will change for the rest of your life. You will start noticing things you have been blind to for years. You will understand why some conversations feel warm and others feel cold, why some people make you feel safe and others make you want to leave. You will finally have the key to decode what has always been a mystery. Before we look at the specific signs, there is one thing you should understand about why our bodies act this way. Your body is not trying to trick you. In fact, it really cannot lie. There is a part of our brain that handles our feelings and our basic instincts, often called the feeling brain or the limbic system. This part of the brain reacts much faster than our thinking brain, sometimes in just a fraction of a second. So, even before a person has consciously decided if they like you, their body has already made up its mind. Before a coworker has even realized they find you wonderful to be around, their feet have already turned to face you. These signals we are about to talk about are not an act or a performance. They are things the body does all on its own because the heart wants to get closer to something it likes. That is exactly why these signs are so trustworthy. They come from a place deeper than thought, deeper than social rules or polite behavior. They come from the most honest part of who we are. When someone is really attracted to you, their chest, their knees, and their feet will all turn in your direction. It is a very sweet thing to see once you start looking for it. Even if they are in a big group or talking to someone else across the room, their body will still lean your way. A famous expert named Desmond Morris called this body pointing. It is just the way our physical selves turn toward whatever our brain thinks is most interesting or most important in that moment. The fascinating thing is that this happens completely without conscious thought. A person might be having a conversation with someone right in front of them, nodding politely and responding to what they say, but their feet are pointed towards you across the room. Their body has already voted on who matters most to them in that space. So, next time you are with a group of people, do not just look at their faces. Look at their feet. Feet are very honest. They almost always point toward the person the heart really wants to be near. Think about it like this. We have learned to control our facial expressions from a very young age. We smile when we are supposed to. We nod when it is polite. We have mastered the art of looking interested even when we are bored. But nobody taught us how to control our feet. Nobody ever said to us as children, make sure your feet are pointing in the right direction. So, our feet remain innocent, truthful, childlike in their honesty. If you notice someone doing this toward you, you can respond by doing the same. Gently turn your body to face them directly. This shows them you feel the same way, without you having to say a single word. It creates an invisible connection, a private conversation happening in plain sight that only the two of you are part of. We all have a little invisible bubble of personal space that we carry around with us everywhere we go. For people we do not know very well, we usually keep that bubble quite large. We maintain a comfortable distance that feels safe and appropriate, but when someone is really starting to like you, they will slowly and quietly try to get closer. They will find little reasons to stand just a bit nearer. They might lean in close when they are talking to you, or they might pick the spot on a bench that is right next to you, even when there are many other places they could sit. A thoughtful man named Edward Hall, who spent his life studying how we use space, found that intimate space is usually anything closer than 18 inches. If someone keeps stepping into that little space with you over and over again, it is not an accident. It is their body trying to narrow the distance between where they are and where they want to be. Watch for the person who always seems to end up standing next to you, even in a crowded room with lots of space. Watch for the one who sits close enough that you can feel the warmth coming from their body. These are not random choices. Every step closer is a question their body is asking. Is it okay if I come nearer? Do you want me here? If you see this happening, try not to back away. Just stay where you are, or maybe move a tiny bit closer to them. It is a way of letting them know that you feel safe and happy with them nearby, that their presence does not make you uncomfortable, that you welcome their closeness. This is one of those signs that a person cannot control at all. The size of the black part of our eyes, the pupils, is handled by the part of our body that also takes care of our heartbeat and our breathing, the autonomic nervous system. When our brain sees something it really likes, the pupils open up wide to let in more light and more detail. It is like the eye is trying to see as much of you as possible, trying to take in every detail of your face, your expression, your presence. Researchers at the University of Chicago found that people often think faces with larger pupils look more attractive, even if they do not know why. They just feel a pull toward them. There is something about dilated pupils that signals warmth, interest, and openness. If you see someone's pupils get large when they look at you, especially if the lights in the room have not changed, their body is telling you a secret their mouth has not said yet. This is one of the most reliable signs because it is completely involuntary. A person can fake a smile, they can pretend to be interested, but they cannot make their pupils dilate on command. To respond to this, just hold their gaze for a tiny bit longer than usual. Not a scary stare, just a warm, lingering look. This shows them you are paying attention and that you like what you see too. Let your eyes be soft and welcoming, creating a safe space for that vulnerability to grow. I do not mean in a way that feels wrong or invasive, but in those small, almost accidental ways that actually mean a lot. It might be a gentle hand on your arm when they laugh at your joke, or their hand brushing yours when they pass you a cup of tea. It could even be a light touch on your shoulder to get your attention, or their fingers grazing your back as they walk past you in a narrow space. A researcher named Tiffany Field at the University of Miami has dedicated her career to studying touch, and she has shown that our skin is the fastest way to build a bond with another person. Touch releases oxytocin, sometimes called the bonding hormone, which makes us feel closer to the person who touched us. When someone likes you, their body starts looking for ways to make contact. They are testing the waters to see if you like being touched by them, if you welcome their presence in your personal space. These little moments are like your body asking, "Can I get closer to you? Will you let me in?" Every small touch is a risk they are taking, putting themselves out there to see how you will respond. If this happens, the best thing to do is to respond warmly. Give them a smile or a quick, kind touch back. This lets them know that it is okay to be close to you, that you are not uncomfortable, that you actually enjoy their touch. Touch builds intimacy faster than almost anything else, so these small moments are actually quite significant in the journey from strangers to something more. If you lean back in your chair, they might lean back a few moments later. If you cross your arms, they might do the same. If you start talking a bit slower, they might slow down too. If you pick up your drink, they might reach for theirs. This is something our brains do automatically when we feel a connection with someone. A scientist named Vittorio Galezi studied special cells in our brain called mirror neurons. These cells help us feel what other people are feeling by copying their actions in our own minds. It is how we develop empathy, how we understand what someone else might be experiencing. When someone copies your movements, their body is saying, "I am in sync with you. I want to be like you. We are on the same wavelength." It is a very strong sign that they are really focused on you, that their attention is completely captured by your presence. This mirroring happens below the level of conscious awareness most of the time. The person doing it often has no idea they are copying you. You can even test this yourself. Try changing the way you are sitting and see if they do the same thing within a minute or so. If they do, you know you have a real connection. You can also deliberately mirror them back to deepen the connection, creating a silent dance of movement that bonds you together. It is usually a very small change, but it is there if you listen closely. People at the University of Southern California found that when we like someone, our voices shift in subtle but meaningful ways. A woman's voice might get deeper and warmer, more resonant. A man's voice might change its pitch and sound more melodic, more musical. People also tend to slow down their talking. Just like you might walk slower when you do not want a nice walk to end, people talk slower when they do not want a conversation to stop. Every word becomes a way to extend the moment, to stay in your presence just a little bit longer. Pay attention to whether someone sounds different when they talk to you compared to how they talk to others. Listen to them in a group conversation and then notice how their voice changes when they turn to speak directly to you. If their voice gets softer and slower, they likely want to spend more time with you, to create a more intimate atmosphere even in a public space. You can respond by slowing down your own voice and speaking a bit more softly. This creates a quiet, private feeling between just the two of you, like you are in your own little bubble even when surrounded by other people. Watch for the person who stands up a little straighter the moment you walk into the room. They might fix their hair or straighten their clothes as soon as they see you. A woman might smooth down her dress or check her reflection quickly. A man might adjust his collar or run his hand through his hair. A researcher named Franz de Waal noticed this behavior in both animals and humans. When we see someone we are attracted to, our bodies immediately want to look more presentable. We want to look bigger, cleaner, and more noticeable. It is an instinct as old as humanity itself. These grooming behaviors happen in a flash, often before the person even realizes they are doing them. If someone fixes their appearance when they see you, they are telling you that your opinion of them really matters, that they want to look good in your eyes, that how you see them is important to who they want to be. To respond, make sure you greet them right away with a big, genuine smile. This shows them that you notice them and that you are happy they are there, that their effort to look good for you has not gone unnoticed or unappreciated. We look at people all the time throughout our day, but there is a special kind of look that feels different. It is a look that lasts just a second longer than a normal, polite glance. A psychologist named Zick Rubin at Harvard found that people who are in love spend a lot more time looking into each other's eyes than friends do. When someone is attracted to you, they find it hard to look away. Their eyes are trying to learn everything about you and hold on to the moment, to memorize your features, to connect with you on a deeper level. If you catch someone looking at you and there is a tiny pause before they look away, something special is happening. That pause is significant. It is the moment where they are deciding whether to keep looking, whether to let you see their interest, whether to be vulnerable with their attention. Do not feel like you have to look away quickly. Let the moment last for a second. A slow, natural look away is much more powerful than a quick, nervous one. It shows confidence and openness, and it gives them permission to keep looking at you in the future. Laughter is one of the best signs that someone likes being around you. An expert named Jeffrey Miller has shown that laughter is a way we bond with others. It shows that we feel happy and open in their company, that we feel safe enough to let our guard down. When someone likes you, your jokes will seem much funnier to them. Even your small observations will make them giggle. They do not need you to be a professional comedian. They just want to feel connected to you. And laughter is one of the fastest ways to build that connection. If someone laughs easily and often when you are talking, it is a sign they are having a wonderful time. Their laughter is not really about how funny you are. It is about how good you make them feel. You can lean into this by sharing things you find truly funny, by being authentic and letting your own sense of humor show. Sharing a real laugh together is a great way to make your bond even stronger, creating memories and inside jokes that belong only to the two of you. This is not just a polite smile you give to a stranger in passing. It is a real, deep smile that uses the muscles around the eyes, creating those little crinkles at the corners. It is often called a Duchenne smile, named after the researcher who first identified it, and it is almost impossible to fake. When someone is truly happy to see you, the skin around their eyes will crinkle, and their cheeks will lift up high. This happens very fast, in less than a second, an immediate, automatic response to your presence. Their body is reacting to you like you are a wonderful surprise, like you are the person they have been hoping to see. If you see this happen, the best thing you can do is smile back with the same warmth. Returning that kindness is how trust grows between two people. Let your face show genuine happiness at seeing them too. This mutual recognition creates a positive feedback loop where both people feel valued and appreciated, where both people know they matter to the other. Instead of just saying goodbye and walking away, they will ask you more questions. They will bring up new topics just to keep the conversation going. When someone is attracted to you, they do not want the talk to end. Every question they ask is like a little bridge they are building to stay close to you, to extend your time together, to learn more about who you are. Watch for the person who always seems to have just one more thing to say before they leave. They are not just being chatty. They are trying to stay in your presence for as long as they can, finding any excuse to keep you there with them. If you want to keep the connection going, give them an easy way to stay. Ask them a question back or suggest that you continue the talk later, maybe over coffee or during a walk. Show them that you also value the conversation and do not want it to end. This mutual investment in spending time together is how relationships deepen and grow into something more meaningful. Maybe you mentioned your favorite type of snack weeks ago and they remember it. Or you told them a small story about where you grew up and they bring it up later in another conversation. When someone is interested in you, their brain works extra hard to remember what you say. A scientist named Antonio Damasio found that we remember things much better when they feel important to our hearts, when they carry emotional weight. If someone remembers the small, everyday details of your life, it means their brain has marked you as someone very special, someone worth paying attention to. These little details that they remember are not impressive facts or important information. They are our tiny personal things that most people forget immediately after hearing them. The fact that they remember shows that when you talk, they are truly listening, not just waiting for their turn to speak. You can show them you appreciate this by saying something like, "I cannot believe you remembered that." It makes a person feel very seen and cared for, which makes them like you even more and encourages them to keep paying attention to the things you share. This is a sign that many people miss, but it is very honest and revealing. When we are around someone we like, our breathing often gets a little bit faster or a little bit more shallow. You might notice them take a quick breath when you make eye contact, or they might pause for a tiny second before they speak, gathering themselves. It is just the body reacting to the excitement of being near you, the slight nervousness that comes with being close to someone who matters to you. Their heart might be beating a little faster, and their breath adjusts to match. If you notice this, try to keep your own breathing calm and steady. Being calm can help the other person feel more relaxed and comfortable, which makes it easier for both of you to connect. Your steady presence can be an anchor for them, showing them that there is nothing to be nervous about, that you are a safe person to be around. Breathe deeply and slowly, and often the other person will unconsciously match your rhythm, creating a sense of peace between you. This is usually very subtle and easy to miss if you are not paying attention. It might be a hand on your back to help you through a busy crowd, or them moving so they are walking on the side of the sidewalk closest to the street, an old-fashioned gesture that puts them between you and potential danger. These are very old, basic instincts that show they care about your safety and well-being. Researchers who study how humans, and even animals, act have seen this many times throughout different cultures and time periods. It is the body's way of saying, "I want to make sure you are okay. You are important to me, and I want to protect you from harm." Even small acts of kindness, like holding a door open or making sure you have a seat or offering you their jacket when it is cold, are signs that they have included you in their circle of care, that your comfort and safety have become important to them. You can respond by simply saying thank you or giving them a kind look. Letting them know you appreciate their care is a lovely way to acknowledge what they are doing and encourage that protective instinct. You might notice them get a little stiff or watch more closely when someone else stands near you or gives you a hug. Their body language might change, becoming more alert, more attentive. It is not that they are trying to be mean or controlling, it is just their body noticing that someone else is in your personal space, in the space they have started to think of as theirs. It shows that they value you and that they have already put their heart into their relationship with you, even if they have not said anything about it yet. This jealousy or protectiveness is usually very mild and might just look like increased attention when others are around you. You do not have to do anything big if you see this. Just know that it is a sign that they really care about where they stand with you, that you have become important enough to them that the thought of someone else being close to you creates a reaction. It is actually quite touching when you understand it as a sign of how much they care. Tilting their head is a very gentle and kind sign that shows engagement and interest. It shows that the person is truly listening and that they are open to what you are saying. It also shows a bit of vulnerability because it exposes the neck, which is a very sensitive and unprotected part of the body. In studies about how people connect, the head tilt is a very strong sign of trust. When someone does this, they are telling you that your words are important to them, that they value what you have to say, that they are fully present in the conversation. You can respond by speaking from your heart and sharing something meaningful. They have already shown you that they are ready to listen in a very deep way, so do not waste that opportunity on surface-level small talk. Share something real, something true about yourself. This is your invitation to go deeper, to move past the superficial and into genuine connection. Imagine you are at a big party or gathering. When that person walks in, they do not just look around at everyone in general. They look for you specifically. Even when they are busy talking to someone else, you might notice their eyes drifting over to find you, checking to see where you are, making sure you are still there. This is a natural thing our bodies do to check in on the person who is most important to us in that moment. You are their anchor in the room, their point of reference, the person they are most aware of no matter what else is happening. If you notice them looking for you, try to catch their eye and hold the look for a second. It is a way of saying hello and checking in before you even get a chance to speak. It acknowledges that silent connection, that awareness you have of each other even across a crowded space. This kind of connection is incredibly special because it shows that even when you are not together, you are still on their mind. All of these signs share one big thing in common. They do not need any words at all. They are honest, real signals from a body that has already made a choice. Sometimes the body knows how it feels long before the person is ready to say it out loud, long before the mind has caught up with the heart. And the best part is that these signs work both ways. When you understand how someone else is acting, you also start to see what you are telling the world with your own body. The way you stand, the way you look at people, and even the way you breathe are all part of a conversation you have been having your whole life. The only difference now is that you can be aware of it, conscious of the messages you are sending and receiving every moment of every day. By being kind, open, and paying attention to these small details, you can build deeper and more beautiful connections with the people in your life. You can respond to the silent invitations that people are extending to you every day. Invitations you might have been missing for years. You can also become more intentional about the signals you send, making sure your body language matches the warmth and openness you feel inside. This awareness transforms everything. If this video has opened your eyes to something new, if it has given you tools to understand the people around you better, please subscribe and help me reach that goal of 10,000 subscribers. Together, we can create a community of people who truly see each other.